hot hatches. Love them or hate them. Actually, scratch that. How can you hate them? They're amazing. For nearly half a century, cars like this, the OG Peugeot 205 GTI, have been serving up fun, practicality, torque steer, all the good stuff.
Today, that relentless force of evolution has given us the latest slew of super hatches. Merck's A45S, the VW Golf R, Honda's latest Civic Type R, ultimate machines. It's been a hell of a journey, and now the hot hatch might just have reached its peak in the shape of this.
This is the very latest Audi RS3. Audi's four-wheel drive super hatch is back, and it's gunning for a stratosphere beyond anything that's gone before.
Let's start with the power. The latest iteration of Audi's 2.5-litre 5-cylinder turbo engine makes 400 PS and 500 Nm of torque. Yep, that's the same as the last RS3, and yep, that's still more than enough.
Audi reckon it will do 0 to 62 in 3.8 seconds. And guess what? They're right. I've checked. It does. And that could make this the fastest hot hatch in history. It's just crazy quick. I drove an Aston Martin Vantage V8 twin turbo the other day, and I tell you, this thing feels every bit as quick. It's nuts. It's supercar quick. That's what it is.
The new RS3 has lapped the Nürburgring 5 seconds quicker than the old car, setting a new hot hatch record. Again, pretty ultimate. The secret to that extra pace? Some subtle but devastating tweaks to the RS3's four-wheel drive system. Like the previous car, this RS3 gets a torque splitter differential on its rear axle, sending full power to whichever side needs it.
What it means is that the RS3 is as sticky as an octopus in super glue. I checked that as well. Look at this. Right, I'm in Chicago. Power on. It's absolutely rapid. There's no understeer, there's no oversteer. There's just steer. Right, I'll pilot into Hammerhead. Let's see how closely it sticks to that inside line. Spot your apex. Bang. Off you go. Has there ever been a hatchback that corners as quickly as this? Answers on a postcard. Don't think you'll find one.
And when you're done being all grippy and fancy being a bit more slippy, yep, the RS3 will do that too.
It's not a full oversteer monster. It will still allow you to throw a few shapes. Oh! It's playful. The RS3 is turning into a bit of a hooligan in its old age. I'm here for it.
This RS3 is a deeply fast car. Top speed stands at 155 miles an hour, unless you pay Audi a bit extra, in which case they'll delimit it to 174. Or, if you pay them even more extra, they'll delimit it to 180. Again, ultimate numbers. No rival hot hatch gets close.
Now in this particular car, Audi hasn't actually removed the top speed limiter, but I've got a theory about this. I reckon German manufacturers might not be telling us the full story. I reckon that they'll actually go beyond the claimed top speed if you just give it a go. So, I'm gonna give it a go. Now, the runway at Dunsfold isn't quite long enough, I think, for me to achieve the full top speed, but I've got a strategy. What I'm gonna do is actually stop here, just on the wrong side of Hammerhead, and launch it through Hammerhead, catapult myself onto the runway and floor it, hopefully giving me a bit more space to get up to speed. Oh, right. Helmet. Safety first. Okay. Launch control. Whoop. Here we go. I call this maneuver the head hammer. Okay. Hold your nerve reed, carry the speed, and power on. There we go. We're already doing 70 miles an hour as we exit head hammer. 103, 109, 120, 130, 135, 140, 147, 152, 155, 156, 158, 160, 162. Oh, I'm backing out. I am backing out. But boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I saw 162 on the dashboard. There you go. My theory was 100% right. don't pay to have the limiter removed. It's already removed. Bit of consumer advice for you there. You're welcome.
With that important business taken care of, let's talk green credentials. You might not think a 400 horsepower hot hatch that coughs out 200 grams of CO2 every kilometer could possibly be green, but I can tell you, you're wrong.
I mean, look at it. That is really green. Kyalami green, apparently. I think if you fed Kermit the Frog into a blender, that's the color you'd get. Actually, no. It'd be red, wouldn't it?
So, what have they changed on the facelifted RS3? At the front, we've got this new front bumper, extra black stuff, bigger air intakes, and new 19-inch wheels apparently inspired by Audi's LMS racer.
There's loads of carbon on this car as well, starting at the front there, carbon on the vents. You've also got carbon on the door sills, carbon door mirror, and then around the back of the car, you've also got this really cool looking carbon roof spoiler. That looks amazing. Plus down here, look at that, carbon on the rear diffuser. It's like a baby supercar. You can, of course, get your RS3 in small saloon flavor or hot hatch, but definitely get the hot hatch because everyone knows hot hatches are cooler than small saloons. Don't at me.
Overall, this is a subtle upgrade of a design that, let's be honest, wasn't in bad shape to start with. Same story with the interior.
Inside, the biggest news is the new steering wheel, which now has a flat top and a flat bottom. I don't even know what you'd call that. Is that a demi-squircle? Anyway, the cool thing about this steering wheel is that it has two big red buttons on them and they serve very important functions. This one with a checkered flag puts you into maximum attack mode. And then this one here, marked RS, lets you customize your own settings. So push that, then on the screen, you can choose to have your torque splitter, comfortable, balanced, or dynamic, your drive system, efficient, balanced, or dynamic, steering, comfortable, balanced, or yeah, you're getting the idea now. Dynamic, same with the engine sound, and you can slacken off the ESC. Very, very cool.
Big shout out to these bucket seats, which are borrowed from the RS6 GT and are magnificent. They're supportive, they're comfy, and they don't have that instant vasectomy insert you get on BMW M cars.
They're a $2.5 option, but your backside will thank you, I guarantee. Speaking of guarantees, I also guarantee that you're missing out if you don't have this on your phone. It's the Autotrader app. And not only will it help you sell your car, but it will also help you choose from nearly 500,000 cars in the UK, new as well as used. And if you're not into cars, it also has bikes, vans, motorhomes, e-bikes, trucks, even plant and farm machinery. I don't know what that is, but I really want to drift it. Oh, and the app also has dark mode, so you can do it at night. Download it from the App Store or Google Play Store right now.
On the subject of buying cars, the RS3 is, as you might expect, reassuringly expensive. Prices start at £61,000. This car in carbon black trim is knocking on the door of 70.
That's a lot of cash to be spending on a 5-door hatchback. But then what you got to remember is the RS3 is pretty much in a class of one. It's way more powerful than a Golf R, in a completely different stratosphere to a BMW M135. In fact, the only hot hatch I can think of to hold a candle to this is the Mercedes A45S, and that is on the way out.
And no hot hatch out there can hold a candle to the RS3's mighty engine. Audi's tweaked the exhaust software for a bit of extra noise at lower revs, and it sounds, well, like no other car on the road.
Another interesting thing is that this is, I think, the last ever car on this planet to use a 5-cylinder engine. And that's cool. Okay, it doesn't sound as amazing as I hoped it might. There's a lot of rules and regulations about the amount of noise that a car can make, but this thing still warbles and growls and it makes a very interesting noise that nothing else on the road will make, and that makes it special. If I was going to criticize this car, I'd say I'd love it to be a bit more sonorous, a bit louder. I'd also like it if this dual clutch gearbox gave me more of a kick on the upshift. But still, this is special. Very, very special.
So, could the RS3 be history's ultimate hot hatch? By one measure at least, I think so. I don't think there's a hot hatch that will get you where you want to go faster than this one. I don't think there's ever been. Relentless pace, relentless grip. This is peak hot hatch performance.
Having said that, there's actually more than one way to skin a hatch. And if you got 60 grand burning a hole in your pocket, maybe the ultimate hot hatch doesn't look like this. Maybe it looks like that.
This is an old Peugeot 205 GTI, but not any old Peugeot 205 GTI. This one has been given the restomod treatment by British engineering firm Tolman, and it is, as the French say, le absolute business.
Tolman have been making these 205s for quite some time now, and I've never actually had the pleasure of driving one, but you know what? It might have been worth the wait. First impressions, it feels light. So light. Probably because it is light, it's 900 kilos. I've had Sunday roasts heavier than this.
Tolman haven't tried to radically reimagine the 205 GTI here. Instead, this is the most sympathetic of makeovers. Under the bonnet, there's no state-of-the-art modern engine making hundreds of horsepower. Instead, it's the original 1.6-litre motor, stripped down and rebuilt better than it ever was first time round. Ported, chipped, new flywheel, new exhaust, skimmed head, tidied ports, crank balanced, the works.
It makes about 130 horsepower, slightly more than the original. But is it fast? Not really. It's not going to keep up with the Audi RS3, that's for sure. It's not going to keep up with the modern Kia Picanto either, but am I complaining? Not really. Do you know what I'm enjoying? The interactivity of this car, the manual 5-speed box, the direct, light, playful steering, the lightness of the chassis itself. You're getting involved with the driving experience in a way that modern cars just can't manage. Not much support in the seats. I'm kind of falling out of these as I go around this corner, but you know what? As I hang on for dear life onto the steering wheel, it's all part of the charm. I was always a Vauxhall Astra GTE man back in the day, but I'll tell you what, I definitely have a soft spot in my heart for these old French hatchbacks. They're a delight.
Because it just gives you more time to enjoy the sensations of driving this slice of retro perfection. And those sensations are magical. But Tolman didn't limit their attentions to the GTI's engine. Each car is the work of more than 700 hours in the factory, with every inch of the donor vehicle stripped back to bare metal before being rebuilt and delicately enhanced. Uprated brakes, better suspension, fresh dampers and differential. It might look stock on the outside, but under the surface, this is one of history's greatest hot hatches, elevated in 1,000 delicate ways.
They've actually integrated a few subtle mod cons in this thing. For a start, we got electric windows, we got a DAB radio. That wasn't around when this first came out. I do wish though that this car had air conditioning. It's about 28 degrees Celsius today and I am roasting in here. It's like a greenhouse.
The best thing about this car though is that it doesn't feel like a new car wearing 80s fancy dress.
It feels like the original 205 GTI, just better. The way we remember it through rose-tinted glasses and not the way it actually was. It's like the 80s, remastered in high definition. Yep, handbrake works.
The cost? Pretty much the same as the RS3. Prices for Tolman's GTI start at £65,000, which is either completely mad or actually quite reasonable. You decide.
I'm not saying that Audi should have built an RS3 like this. You couldn't build an RS3 like this for a variety of reasons, but what a reminder of where we came from and how cool hot hatches used to be and how much they've evolved along the way. This isn't a competition. They're both ultimate hot hatches in their own unique way. But I guess the question is, if I had to choose, which one of these two ultimate hot hatches would I put in my garage?
That's a tough one. Maybe it depends on the size of your garage, because if you need one car to do it all, the RS3 is the everything answer.
But if you've already got an SUV and a Caterham for the track and a Lamborghini for the weekend, congratulations, you're doing very well for yourself. I hope you use the Autotrader app to make those purchases. But you've still got space in your garage for one very special edition. Well then, you would, wouldn't you?
But for the rest of us, where having multiple hot hatches isn't realistic, the choice is pretty obvious. The new RS3 is phenomenal, and I'd even go as far as saying it's the greatest hot hatch ever made. The ultimate High praise indeed, given the rich history of that segment, but it's praise the RS3 deserves.